Hello, everybody. There happened to be a coin show today in town and bought a few various world coins here. Nothing super special. Guy had him in a monster box. This is a 42 Canada, so penny, so it has King George on it. Kind of neat. Not really super expensive or nothing. 1 franc coin, unpeso. One of these new pence 10s. Italian still. This is a 1966 one. This is a halfpenny, 1917, very worn. This is a 78 Irish coin with a bull on it. It says 5p. I guess that's 5 pence. Then the last 3 coins, a couple more of the half pennies with selling ship on them. This is probably the better of the two, or what I got. It's Queen Elizabeth again. This one is King George. It's a 46. And then the last one I bought from the holder, date's about gone. It's King George. Hard to see him. It's got a hole in it, real close to the edge, but someone probably wore this as a necklace for a long time. And yeah, the date's gone so far that you can't tell. Anyway, now to start talking about some of the silver coins I bought. But before I do that, the guy I bought these from, this varies. Hello, AG. Hi, Stacker, 1776. How you doing? Got a few more of these. And a couple of these. This, get it to focus. That's a Viking ship. It's 50 escudos, Portuguese. I got 2 examples of them. Well, that one tried to fall away where I can't get to it, but it's the same coin. It's a little bit beat up. This one though, it's a real nice example of one of these 2.5 ones. Now let's start talking about what this coin dealer here was telling me, because I talked to him about the coin show and about, talked about a place I thought might be a good place to have one. And he's saying how much it would have cost to buy the 2 empty tables to use next to him. And he said they were $45 a piece. They're like 8-foot tables, 2 of them. Would have been $90 to buy both of them, but he didn't want to do it because he had 1 table. So he's already spending $45. He didn't want to spend that much more. But let's talk about a couple things I did get. This is a Barber quarter, 1895. In the Morgan dollars, the 1895 year was a pretty low mintage. I'm not sure how many of these quarters they made, but we'd been in a financial crisis since 93, when they didn't make very many Morgans that year either. So 3 years of a little bit lower minages on the Morgan dollars. 93, 94, 95. 96, they started making a lot of them again. So, this one came from Jack. But let's talk about this. This 1920 Stand in Liberty. It's hard to see this, but it does have date left on it. The 1 and 9 and 2 are a little bit faint, I don't know how well you'll be able to see them on this. In person, I can, pull it up real close and get a good look, and they're there. This is the only standing Liberty quarter from 20, before 24 that I have that has a date on it. All the other standing Liberty quarters I got are 25 to 1930. It's just a product of how these were made. The date wore off real fast. So, but I did like getting this one. 4.4 million on the Barber quarter. It's still kind of a high number. Here you go. This one's got some kind of toning or something on it. It's 1930. Last year, the Standing Liberties. It's a little bit less worn, but with the dirt and grime on it, probably doesn't grade very well. And it was $8. We'll throw that up so people can see it. I thank you for doing the research because I'm using my computer and I can't really do the research while I'm doing this. But we'll throw that back up too. Now, this coin is a coin from Cyprus. Some kind of a ram. Not very big. Thought, it looks like a battering ram in a way, but he's not very stocky. This is 74 coin. It says 1980. Whoops. This wasn't really a very valuable coin. It was only it's $40 or 40% off the $2, so it was $1.60. Probably overpaid a little bit, but it was a neat design and I kind of liked that look. So went ahead and got it. Now, we'll move on to something you're going to like. It's kind of worn, but he knocked at least 50 cents off the price of this. This is a $50, and for focus for me, the O is in pretty solid, although the rim's going away. 1903 O is a 50-cent piece. I've done a video separate for all these coins so far to go live later. Let's start talking about the better coin. This is the actual coin I was looking for. It's a bit worn, but so is the one I already had. This one's probably not as bad. Hey, Superbird, we'll throw your comment up. Thanks for stopping by. Now, this 75, if I can get it to focus and get the light to hit the CC well, CC is in the middle of the reef, which makes it, pretty interesting. The other one I have, the back is scraped real bad. This one's just worn. Anyway, yeah, I meant videos. I saw that Visa and I was like, I'm not sure what he means. I got the business card for this guy, and he told me that if I want to order something when he's not doing a show, he does free shipping if you spend a certain amount of money. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I can always call him and talk to him. And this one costs a little more than the one I bought before, but it's not scraped and damaged quite as bad. Let's pull that back up again. CC's in the reef. Now this year they did have some with the CC down below the reef too, and that's where a lot of these the 76s and stuff also had it below the reef. But I think they also that year had them above the reef. And both in the reef or below the reef, I don't think it makes a big difference in their value. But anyway, let's see. The guy I bought this one from, and this one, he had some 10-ounce brick style bars, silver bars. I didn't buy one, but they were pretty cool. He also had a 2 kilo or a kilo silver bar, but he didn't pull it out to let me hold it. I mean, one while back, I went to it last year. The guy had a 100-ounce bar, and he said, "You want to hold it?" I said, "Sure." So he pulled it out and let me hold it, and it's deceptively heavy. Now, this one is a reasonably good, probably fine, extra fine range, 1887. The Liberty's pretty solid. It's got design left on it. The whole rim is pretty good. No major ring dings or nothing. It's an S mint one dime. And like I said, it's in pretty good shape. Now, the guy I bought this from was wearing a USS Enterprise hat. And while I was there talking to him, um, he told me the story of how they about blew the Enterprise up. He said because they backed up a tractor underneath one of the jet's wings, and on the pylon they had a missile or some kind of bomb, and the heat coming up in the tractor cooked off the missile, and it blew up and shot a couple other airplanes and blew them up or something. Big holes in the flight deck. They had to repair it. It's an interesting story, but I went back around and I didn't buy this when I was first there. I just talked to the guy for a bit. I said, I'll be back because I got to do a full lap to see other coins. So I got all the way back around. And this guy I know who I'd seen at a local coin shop, well, coin dealer guy, was talking to him, and he noticed the Enterprise hat too. And he said something about the fact that he served on the Enterprise right when they were decommissioning it and preparing it to put it up in the reserve. So they had a little bit of a connection. The one guy was served on it while it was underway in like 1969 is when the fire happened. He's an older guy. He's pretty cool. Now, this particular coin, I went and looked at a bunch of these on eBay. I buy it now, and this one looks about as good as the extra fine ones I saw. But it's a nice seated Liberty coin, one of the better looking ones I had. Now, while I was there getting ready to leave, but before I left, I ran into at least 5 or 6 guys that I know there. Besides a couple of the dealers that I went to their stores. The one guy's retired and the other guy isn't yet. But Jack, who I do buy a lot of coins, and I bought this one from, guy came in, he had a bunch of the new Morgan and Peace Dollar ones, the ones the mint just made. And the guy wanted to sell them. And he also had some Ike Dollars, which are gold plated. Oh, this one? I totally agree. That one is sharp. It's a nice looking one. It's getting closer to the end of when they stopped making them, so that might have been why someone put it back. I don't know. Or just, who knows why it didn't get circulated as much as they usually do. Because anyway, Jack bought a whole bunch of Ike Dollars because he has a guy that buys every Ike Dollar he gets. And he just bought a whole bunch of them off of him, not 20 minutes before, he got these. Well, the guy had like 38 Ike Dollars. He paid him, I think, $1.25 for them. And he sells them for like $1.50. They're not real super collectible, but I wanted these for educational purposes, like the JFK I have that's gold plated. Now, this is not very shiny, so this might not even be 24 karat gold. I believe it's gold, though. It might be like 14 karat. This one's super shiny, like they polished it up afterwards. And it's been scraped against a little bit. Some of the gold plating has gone away on some of the higher spots on his ear and his chin and his neck. It's a 72. And it's the eagle landing on the moon. I like the design on these. It's not one of them coins that's super valuable, but it is a good educational purpose coin. But Lyman bought all of his Ikes and he'll probably buy all the rest of those ones, the other 36 or whatever he's got left. If he still has them, he could have went back and got more. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Jack made him a good offer on all that stuff. I mean, paying more than $1 for these is, kind of, as a coin dealer, you're not going to make a whole lot. So he only made like 50 cents, but he sold them immediately after the guy left. So I said, I'd like to have the two $gold ones, gold plated ones. He said, yeah, how about two for $3? I said, sure. Anyway, I don't know if you saw this earlier. This is a British halfpenny with King George on the front. He didn't have them priced yet. I don't know what he paid a piece because I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, but I know how much he paid the guy, and he paid him directly in cash right there on the spot. The guy actually made a slight comment about him carrying a lot of cash around, like, in this day and age, it's kind of crazy. Someone might try to, rob you or something. He said, Jack has a kind of a free spirit attitude. He said, well, you just got to live, got to make a living, So he's didn't have any problems buying that stuff. Put this on there. So I don't know what he was selling them for. Now, the other day I was talking about I made videos for this 1980 PD&S, a 1980 or 79 PD&S. Got all three of these at the bank on the same day. The last time he had those, I think he was asking 140 or 160, but it's been a while. So I don't know what he's going to price them for, but he'll probably have them next week if I get in there on Saturday. Now, right as I was getting ready to leave, well, before, I'd bought a few things. This one guy I know come strolling in, and he's an older guy, a little bit older than I am. And I showed him this. I said, this other guy over here's got one of these. It's a little bit better, and this one costs more. He goes, really? So I took him down, showed him the guy, and said, hey, this guy's looking for 1875 Carson Cities. And I told him, you got some. And he didn't really say thanks to me for bringing the guy over there, but he sure could have. Because, he ended up selling one for $100. It was quite a bit nicer than this one. Probably in the range of this one, for looks. And we went over to the guy I bought these off of, and he had a real nice Carson City one in a bigger holder, the 2.5 by 2.5 one. Oh, it was $575 though, but it looked nice. But I showed him a couple of the Standing Liberties out of it. I think they were $7 a piece, and he ended up buying those off of him. And I think he might have bought one other coin from that guy, but I took him over, took him over to that guy and said he's got a couple nicer Standing Liberty quarters, and he ended up buying a couple. So I kind of like led that guy down the road to ruin, as I said, because he's spending all his money. But he was happy that he got a nice looking Carson City dime, pretty good shape. Now, right when I was getting ready to go out the door, I saw this guy, and he had a 1879 Carson City Morgan dollar with a big hole drilled in it. I mean, a hole this big. But he wanted a lot of money for it. Like 200 something, I think it was. Right around 200. And I was interested if it wasn't that much, but since he said 200, I was like, damaged coins, there's a problem with damaged coins if you're trying to ever resell them. If they got major damage, they make it harder to get any kind of price for them at auction or otherwise. He also had a 28-piece dollar with a little bitty hole in it, a bit smaller than this one has in it, the 28-piece dollar. And he wanted about 200 for it too. And I'm like, I don't think so. And I wasn't going to buy anything from him, but then I noticed a bag of loose constitutional stuff. I asked him, well, what about this stuff? Because I hadn't seen anybody had slicks. I didn't expect to find slicks. Um, these are all dateless standing liberties, and they were all, about the same price. I bought most of them from the guy in town who's the jeweler who's been setting these back for me. So I probably got $17 or $18 of these in my treasure chest challenge. By the way, since y'all are here, this is the updated total. It's $1.20 to take me to $89.25. The reason why it's $1.20 is he also had a couple dimes. Bit Roosevelt, no big deal. It looks like it's a 48, maybe. It's a bit worn, but for the treasure, it's a D. For the treasure chest challenge, it's perfect. But I was able to add one coin to my treasure chest challenge that I don't have this denomination in this type. I have plenty of dimes, but not this. This one's a super slicked seated Liberty. The date's gone. The back is real bad. I mean, there's really nothing left to the back. I mean, it's just a slick chip. Well, Bobby, it all depends on condition. You said Barber halves and some Barber quarters. Well, I have a Barber quarter, I think. Yeah, here we go. This is an 1895. If it looks like this one, you're talking $10. He knocked 50 cents off, so it's $9.50. And AG Stacker wants to know what years. AG Stacker can do the research because I can't get on my computer while I'm doing a live stream. I'm on my cell phone. The computer's here, but I can't go over there and talk, and you probably won't hear me very good. Yeah, the slicks are great for the treasure chest. All of these. Now I have in my treasure chest, now I have a dime seated Liberty. And I got pretty much all the years are pretty close. 2 bags. We'll put this up for a moment. Yeah. They're about like this one. Well, depending on the years, if there are any key date ones, they might be worth a bit more in this kind of shape. This is actually not real bad for a quarter, I guess, for a Barber anyway. Ones that are really slick are only about $6. But this one's not totally slick. The rim is pretty much there on this side. In the back, mostly there. It's starting to go away just a little bit up by the of. Maybe a little, not so much anywhere else. This is a nice Barber quarter, a pleasing toning on it, or dirt, whatever. It highlights the detail quite well. So I didn't mind buying it, and it's a 4.4 million mintage year. And that's what AG Stacker pulled way back here somewhere. There, we'll put that up. So Bobby, your Barber quarters, and did you say halves? Well, halves, I got a couple of them that are a bit damaged and worn. These were a few weeks ago. They were $12. This is an old mint one, which this side's not too bad. This side's a little bit more worn, especially over here. The rim is totally gone on this side. It's a 1902. This other one is a 1905, and it's S mint with heavy damage, like someone gouged the coin over here. Yeah, you got to look through your years, Bobby. That's the only thing I can tell you. You will have to do, and it's if you got seated Liberty coins, the same thing. Some of these are pretty low mintage, especially the half-dollar ones. And but these two are so slick they're only melt value coins at best. But I didn't expect to buy any of this kind of coins for my treasure chest at the coin show because most guys they bring good stuff. They don't bring random junk like this. It's heavily worn out. Hello, stacking perpetrator. How you doing tonight? Might as well show you this real quick. Got this for the treasure chest challenge. The date's gone, but it's a seated Liberty dime. I have a seated Liberty quarter in the same kind of condition, basically worn out, pretty bad, dateless. But I wanted to get a lot of different examples of coins for the treasure chest challenge, rather than just buying like Roosevelt and Mercury dimes and standing Liberty quarters and Benjis or Walkers or 64 Kennedys. I have a few Barber quarters in it, maybe 6, and probably here. I had to say I have about 10 or 15 Barber dimes in it. Barber, I mean, not Barbara. Couple Barber halves, 6 quarters at least. But I bought this at the show. We'll have another look at this for anybody who wasn't here when I was looking at it. Liberty's full and it's really pretty strong. It's got some detail left on the face. It's kind of hard to see here, but I can make out the eyes and nose. The rim is all there, and I don't see any major dings on the rim. It's an estimate one. And most of the ones I saw for sale in this kind of shape, they were generally around extra fine for the grade, they said. So I'm figuring this is probably extra fine or real close. I don't know if I'd say it's a choice extra fine. It's kind of dirty. And it's worn enough I don't see any noticeable mint luster, which sucks, but what can you do? This is the actual coin I was looking to get today. Carson City dime with the CC in the reef, because the one I have has major scratches across the back rim and across the reef and stuff. It's scraped. So it doesn't look as good for the most part as this one. And the person's wrote G here, and it was $35, which is kind of pricey, but it is a Carson City dime. They're kind of hard to come by. And he did have a nicer one, but it was a lot more, and I wouldn't have been able to get none of this other stuff. But yeah, gold-plated Ike dollars. The gold plating doesn't really add any value. This one's shined up quite a bit, and the gold's starting to wear away on part of the coin, and it's even scraped up a little across the face. But Ike dollars, if you get lucky, you can go to the bank sometimes and people will turn them in. I've actually gotten a Bicentennial Ike Dollar recently from the bank, and I got a half and a quarter. I think it was the same weekend. I got where I don't remember exactly where I got. I might have got the half at the bank too. I don't think the Bicentennial quarter came from my pocket change. But anyway, yeah, these are nice coins. Even this one's nice for the purpose of the treasure chest challenge. It gives me a seated dime in it, another type coin. I mean, I got JFK in halves. I got 4 different designs. I've got 4 different designs of quarters, 4 different designs of dimes, and I've got peace dollars and Morgan dollars for it. Grand total in that treasure chest, block 90% silver, is $89.25. Now, before I even went to the coin show, this was interesting. Person I know, I stopped at a restaurant. And they know I have coins because I've shown a few of these random world coins like this to him and a few other coins, nothing super special. But she had this, was going to sell this at a yard sale. But she said, I'll just take it to work, give it to the guy I know who likes coins. And when I came in, she handed it to me. These are Israeli coins. It's a neat little set, bunch of different coins in it. And I mean, she just gave it to me for nothing, so I can't complain there. And it has pictures from Israel, and all this print is I don't know what any of it says. No idea. But these are neat coins. I don't know what a set like this would go for online if you found one to buy. I mean, it's a nice little set, but it's not, it was free. So if you get something free, it's worth what you paid for it, even if you didn't, if it ain't worth nothing really. Because I didn't pay nothing, so it's worth nothing. But getting something for no cost, doesn't happen too often. I mean, if you get lucky someday, you're digging through your coins and your change, you find something like this, because I found one recently, is a Roosevelt Dime that is silver. Not this one, but it's in my treasure chest because I found it. It's a 50D, I think, that was in my change. So it's one of the cheapest coins I put in there because I got it for pocket change, a dime. So I have nothing in it. And these are probably worth about $1.50 to $2 range, depending on what the note is. So, getting one of those kind of coins for nothing is neat. If you're still around, Stacking Perpetrator, and you didn't see this before, it's a 1920. The 1, 9, and 2 are visible. It might be hard to see on this because it's hard to get this to focus and get the light on it real well. They're still there. They're kind of faint. This is the only pre-25 Standing Liberty quarter I have that has a date on it. All the other ones that are probably like these are probably all 18 to 24 years. The date's gone on them. And the reason why is the way they made the date originally was on a flat surface that was high. The newer ones, it's recessed slightly. The date's up some, so they still wore out, but not as fast. And this is one I bought too today. It's kind of neat. Anyway, I did want to go live for a little while and talk about what I got at the coin show. Now, I made videos for most of this stuff, and the videos are going to be scheduled out for the next week or so because that's just kind of how I do them. I only have the 20S let me put that up. It's 20S visible, real visible, because the 1920 and the S, both, that stuff wore off fast on those because the way they made them. This is got a lion on it, 1961. Every one of these I think I have for my other challenge box, which is full of world coins. I've got 5 or 6 of these, I think. I sent one to AG Stacker, and I think he liked it quite a bit. Oh, it's full date? Well, that's nice. 20S is probably, that's probably a pretty valuable coin then with a full date. Because it didn't take very long for them to start losing their dates. But, out of what I got today, this was what I really wanted the most, was the 1875 CC in the reef. Now, the one guy I went and bought these off of had a stack of Morgan dollars. And he said, well, I asked him, well, how much for the Morgan dollars? He said $26. He had a couple 21s and a few of the 1900 range ones, 1901, 1904 or something, and a couple older ones. But, they were just loose coins like these. Would have been a lot like this one. 21 Morgan dollar that's just worn a little bit. No damage, no hole, no date ground off. But it was a shame the one guy's 28 piece dollar had the hole drilled in it. Because without a hole, he was probably going to ask $100 higher, and he probably would have been able to get it because they're just hard to come by. Very low mintage. Which was a great piece. This one? Yeah, I thought this was a great piece. And I really thought this was a real nice dime. And I liked the guy's story and the fact that the other guy I know that was talking to him, they both served on the Enterprise. The older guy, he was on. I thought that was a neat story. Unfortunately, the one guy was telling me they blew a hole in the flight deck by an accident, and the other guy said that he was serving on it when they decommissioned it or set it up for decommissioning or something like that. But these go in the bag for the treasure chest challenge. Now I was going to talk about, where is that coin? I just had it in my sight a moment ago. Where did it go? Oh, this one. It's Queen Elizabeth World coin thing. I got it the other day. It's 1988. It's a 2 pence, and it says Belly Wick of Jersey on their lettering. This particular coin I've never seen. It looks like some kind of castle and thing or something built on a rock. That's what it looks like. I don't know what this is, but I've never seen this coin before, and I've been digging through tons and tons of world coins to fill up the nautical box, and it's full now. If you didn't see my live stream about it when I was adding coins yesterday, it's completely full. It's so full that a lot of coins get stuck on the ruler when I drag it across. And that's what I want this Mel-themed treasure chest back here to be when I get it full. I want to, when I drag, I want to hit coins, so it's like, for sure that it is full. And no one can say, well, that's not completely full. You can still get more coins in there. Well, you keep, sorting them down and dragging, you're not going to get more coins. Now, let's talk about this. It's an old mint. I have a few slabbed coins, but not a lot. They're not real handy right now either. I could get to some of them. A couple Morgans that somebody gave me. But I'll go ahead and show this. This is about as cheap a quarter as I could find this weekend that wasn't slicked. And I didn't buy this one at the coin show, but it's 34. It's the second year. They didn't make any in 33, or not any 33s, put it that way. The 32 S&D are real low mintage coins, and they're pricey. But yeah, I have some slabbed coins, HE Stacker. I don't know how easy I can get to them, but let's see if I can find a couple. These two, mind you, were completely free gifts. Oh yeah, on the 1907 one. Yeah, it's the rim's starting to go away, but the O itself is pretty solid. You got the 32 in a junk bin, 32D. If that was at a junk bin price, you did well. because a 32D is pretty low mintage. All right. First thing to show is an 1883 old Morgan dollar from, it's in an ICG holder. I don't particularly care for ICG very much. Their grading is suspect. This doesn't say there's any damage to it. It does have mint luster on it, so it could be an AU55, but I'm not going to trust their judgment entirely. But anyway, this was completely free to me, and the old mint, it's real legible. It's still got good mint luster on the back. It does have a scrape across the eagle's wing here, and that's why I'm suspect on the grading. I figure, in my opinion, if you sent this to somewhere else like PCGS, they would probably call it AU details, no number, and put damaged scratches maybe because of that scratch there on the wing. It's plainly there, undeniable. Yeah, you were in the right place at the right time. So you're telling me you did get it for a junk bin kind of price. Well, can't beat that. This one says damaged. It says mint state 60s. The damage is right there on the face. The light hits it. It's a big scrape. And that might not be the only scrape on it. It too has good mint luster and stuff, and it is, flip it around here, it too is an old mint one. But at least they did put damaged on this one and were straight up about it. In terms of the mint luster, it's there. But again, is it really a mint state coin? I don't know. That's a little bit heavier than a bag mark too. I mean, that's a clear, visible, and kind of deep scrape right on the cheek, and the worst possible place to have a scrape. And it does look like there might be some kind of a scrape on the eyelid right there as the light hits it. And other than that, I don't know. The old mint's notorious for poor strikes, so some of the high details might not look real sharp on them sometimes. This might even have a die crack up on the lettering. Let's have a quick look. That happens on these quite often. You have to look real close. Well, I'm not really seeing a die crack on it. But I mean, I have a 1898 O that's been cleaned that looks so much better overall than this slab coin does. And I've shown it before. Hold on, I'll get it out. Well, it's got a little bit more involved than I thought it was going to. Get to that stuff. Gold-plated JFK to go along with the gold-plated Ikes. No extra value. Inside the box. I'll put it in there. It's got to be where it is, right? Yeah, found it. Now, we'll have a look at this. Oh, that's too bad. P01. That means it's pretty slick. I think. If I'm understanding what you're saying, that's a slick one, real bad. But we'll have a look at this real quick. Now, you look at the surface of this coin, you can see the mint luster spin around this one like crazy. It's a pretty nice looking 98.0. It's about as nice a old mint Morgan dollar I've ever seen. It's a stunner. That's all I can say about it. It is a deep shame that somebody cleaned on this, because when you pull this up and look at that between the U and S, the light hits it just right. Especially telling us over here between the U and R, there's a J shape. So this has got a bit of cleaning. It's enough cleaning that there's no way any of the grading companies would, not see that. But this thing looks better than Mint State 64 coins that I've seen on PCGS otherwise. So this is actually a high Mint State coin. It's just been cleaned, which is a shame. But it is one of the best looking Morgan dollars I actually have in terms of chatter on the cheek. This one probably didn't travel much. I mean, when you look at that cheek, it's smooth. Mint luster powers around the edge, across the cheek. I mean, this is just a marvelous Morgan dollar. Of course, it wasn't cheap neither. I mean, this is just a sweet Morgan dollar. Unfortunately, like I said, it's ruined for grading purposes. Now, bought some more slab coins. I've got a few more in here, I think. This is where they all are now. I think. Well, the other ones aren't handy, but I do got a couple ASEs slabbed. This one says it's 2001 and it's been clad in silver that they got at the. That's what I wanted to know. What is it? Yeah, that's a good question. That's his question, and that's what he said. Yeah, when they're that way, it's people want to try to find what they call the worst possible graded coin. You the lowest grade you can get, and they're willing to pay extra for them. But this says $20 when I bought it, so silver was much lower. But they say it's been clad by these guys, NCM. I don't know who that is. This grading company I've never heard of before. I don't think they're reputable. They don't even put a grade on it. Oh, it's poor one. Yeah, it's low. That's what I thought he meant by that. And like I said, when you grade coins like that, what you're aiming for is the worst coin that's graded. And some people like to get like the worst possible grade coins they can get, and they'll pay extra for them. I might have an 1876 seated Liberty quarter that might do that. I mean, it has the date, but everything on the coin is slicked out. Anyway, they say it's 160 milligram extra silver, 3.9 fine that were recovered at the World Trade Center Ground Zero. It doesn't look real shiny, so that might be part of it. Now, this one, NGC, says it's an early release. It's a West Point mint on these. I don't see a mint mark on it, but they say it's in West Point. They ordered these early. It's an early strike one. Yeah, that's the reason right there, what he said. This one says Mint State 69. They only go up to Mint State 70. Why this? I mean, I've looked at this coin a bunch of times, this American Silver Eagle. I've looked at all the high points on the Eagle's head, the shield rim edges, all of it. Everything on this, every high point on her face, across her chest, her hand, down her leg, every in the curls and the flag, everything I'm looking at on this, I couldn't begin to tell you why this isn't a 70. You know, I don't know why. But I have a few more graded ones, but they're not handy. I've got a couple quarters, a proof, and I'm trying to think one. I don't even remember exactly. I got, a proof 40% Bicentennial JFK graded. But that's the only slab coins I can show you right now because all the other ones are not around where I can get to them. I don't show too many coins from this box because I don't get it out very often. This is a proof Bicentennial silver. I think it's silver. I don't see copper in the rim, so it's a Bicentennial. It says $7, so it's probably a 40% one. Kind of a neat design on these. Very shiny. Quite like it. You know, $7. So it seems a bit pricey, but what can you do? A lot of people's favorite 1-ounce coins lately because the maple leaf on these is just stunning. Lots and lots of details on the leaf. This has that little bitty leaf there for a security feature. Just a beautiful coin. The queen's side, she's not as, she's older at this point. This is a 2018. I think this particular look is from an earlier time too. Profile pictures, she doesn't look like that recently. Not any time recently that I can remember. Here. One I don't show that much lately. 1921 piece dollar, high relief one. That's not in too bad a shape. A little wear on it, but even at that, this isn't a real cheap one. It's Philadelphia, of course, but that's all they made. The 21s were only made in Philadelphia. This is one of the first coins I ever bought that cost more than $100. It might have been the first, but no, the 21 piece dollar in reasonable shape is hard to get anything for any cheap at all. Under $100 unless there's something wrong with the condition. What else do I want to show? I got this out. Anything else in here really remarkable I want to show? We'll show this. This is an 86 ASC first year. Bought this way back when through the mail for what they said was at cost at the time. I think it was about $15 or $16 when I bought it. Yeah, the 21s are going up in price because they made that new 2021 one, and people interest in the piece dollar grew because of that. It's actually kind of a nice thing that the mint did with those, made the piece dollar cheap. They didn't have to. And since showing JFK gold plated, might as well show this. This is a American Mint product, I believe. It's a half-gram proof. JFK, it's a very small, very tiny coin, but commemorates his birthday, which was the year this thing was made. Well, not the year it was made, the date it says on it would have been his 100th birthday or some such. I think that's why they put it out. It does say American Mint here. And it tells you the aspects of the coin. It's 585 gold, which is 14 karat. There's only 9,999 of them, half a gram. 2006 when they issued it, 11 millimeters proof. John F. Kennedy, coat of arms. $11 when I bought it. One of the guys the coin show today had a Cook Island coin that was gold, really big across, but real thin. I don't know whether it was plated or if it was a solid gold piece, but it wasn't very. It was light. It was extremely light because the coin itself, it was bigger across than this, but it was real thin. It was neat looking, but I didn't want to buy it because I'm like, if I'm going to buy a gold coin, I want it to be a regular, straight up coin that you can actually turn around and sell. Put that away. All right. We're getting up on about an hour here. And I covered everything at the show and a few other things I've got. I told most of the stories from the show that were interesting. But yeah, I saw at least 5 or 6 guys that I see regularly at one of my coin shops. Usually the guy on South 7th, only he's there. Since COVID happened, he's pretty much kept it to where only one person goes in at a time usually. And he's had several friends get it, and so he wears a mask, and he'd like you to too. So I'll do it just to respect him, though. Put a mask on at the shop. But it's one of those kind of deals. He's right. They're going up in price. Really nice ones are probably going to. That one I just showed you, it might be 150 today. Who knows? I don't recall seeing a 21 at the coin show. They had a lot of coins, so I got, you start looking at that many coins, your eyes start crossing. I mean, I saw so many nice looking seeded Liberty coins like this, and some even better, quarters, halves, dollars, trade dollars. And some of the prices, on some of the higher grade coins is astronomical. But, if you want a really good coin, you're going to pay up for it at a show usually because, those guys spent money to get a table, and it's not cheap to go to a coin show and, set up. It takes a lot of time. A lot of them guys are driving from out of state to get there. Some of them come from, one state over. One guy said he was from Lincoln. My first thought was Lincoln, Nebraska, and I was thinking, there's no way this guy actually drove from Lincoln, Nebraska. But I said, what, Lincoln, Nebraska? He goes, no, Lincoln, Illinois. Oh, okay. That's not as far to drive. But the further you have to drive to go to a coin show to, sell stuff, you got to sell a lot of stuff. And some people do better at them shows than others. I don't know. That particular guy had at least 3 GSA Morgan dollars, and they were right around 350, 360, something like that. Not real bad prices actually. And I thought those were kind of cool too, but I already got one, so I didn't buy it. But I don't know. Is there anything else you guys got a question about? Anybody that's still on the live stream? Just say hi, ask a question real quick, and then we can answer it if I can. Yeah, when you go to a coin show, you see a lot of stuff that you usually don't get to see. Now, my coin dealer, who's on South 7th, he's been in the business a long, long time, and he's got a lot of coins. And if you go in and ask for a certain design, he'll pull some out, and he usually always has some. I mean, I bought some Seated Liberty coins from him. Bought a really nice 1876 Carson City one from him. Yeah, there are people from all over the U.S. That's pretty cool. I don't know how well the guys did today in terms of selling. They weren't super busy when I went. I went kind of early. It might have got busy later, but some of the guys that were there were buying a lot of stuff though. So, they made some money, I guess. Now, how much they ended up, profiting, it's hard telling because how much you actually make when you turn around and sell something like this. Let's say 10 years from now, I'm doing a coin show and I'm selling this to somebody. Well, I have to remember how much I paid for it and then sell it for more than that to actually make any money selling it. I don't even know what I'd have to sell it for to really make a profit because you still got to take costs into consideration when you're selling as to how much, if a coin shows $45 table, that means you got to sell enough stuff to make over $45 profit. And then that pays for the table. And then anything you sell after that begins to make you the money from selling it. You might sell $5,000 or $6,000 worth of coins, but that doesn't mean you made very much. I mean, a lot of these guys, Jack, I know what he sometimes pays for coins like this. And because I've seen people sell to him. And, a coin like this, he may have made $1 on, $1.50 tops, probably. So he has to sell volume to make any money to speak of. And man, he had a lot of stuff at the show today. He had way more coins than he usually ever has at the shop, at his regular shop. But it's a coin show, so he's trying to impress people and get them in, sell it, and make some money. But, I did buy this from him too. I think he knocked 50 cents off this one, which was nice of him. He didn't have to, but like I said, I saw him drop considerable amount of money buying the modern Morgans and a few peace dollars, or 21s, 19 or 2021s, the new mint issues, and a big stack of Ike dollars. He didn't pay much for them though. He paid over $1 for them, and he's going to sell them to this guy that buys them every time he has them. A whole bunch of them, he buys all of them. And he likes buying them just because it keeps him from spending the money on something else. You buy a bunch of these kind of dollars. You go to the bank, you pick up a whole bunch of them, you keep filling up a bag, and over months, years, however long it takes you to get them, you might have 2,000 or 3,000 of them if if you're been doing it for a while. I don't, but the guy he buys all the Ike dollars. He told me once he has at least 10,000 of these little dollars, and I think the main reason why he buys them is it's not easy to sell. Thanks for stopping by, Stacking Perpetrator. Guys, go check his channel out. He's a cool guy. And I'm getting about ready to take, stop this live stream and do something else for the rest of the night. But I did want to go ahead and talk about the coin show, talk about a few stories. Had a good time. Helped the coin dealer, a couple different coin dealers sell a couple of coins because this one guy wanted them. When I told him about this, he wanted one of these, and I told him where he could get one. And he went down there, and I said, "This guy's got them." And he bought one of them. A real nice example of a Carson City one like this, same year, just better than this one is. It's $100, and I would have bought it for $100, except I wanted to get other stuff today too. And if I would have bought that, that would have been almost all I would have got. But like I said, I hope you all have a good night, and I'll leave this up for anybody that was going to come by and watch my live stream but missed it. But have a good night, and y'all take care.